Yes, well, that's a good question. Well, actually, I've been a speaker for 26 years now, and I'm a stand-up comedian for 26 years. But after 1 or 2 months, I was asked to do tailor-made shows for companies. And that was a whole new world 26 years ago. Now it's a sort of common thing that stand-up comedians do tailor-made shows. But I think I was one of the first in the Netherlands. And that brought me to stages, to different stages, to conferences, 400, 500, 600 people, consultants, CEOs, etc. And there started the love of a different audience, because you can go to the theater on Saturday evening, and that is beautiful, and I love that. But I also love to go to a big conference room on Thursday afternoon and to close off a really important day. And that's where the love started, that if you do a tailor-made show, if you can touch somebody with humor, with content, and people laugh and they sort of love you for that, I mean, that is, I mean, there's no credit card that can pay for that feeling, although it's nice that they pay a nice bill after a conference. So that's where it started 26 years ago. And then maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I entered the Professional Speakers Association in the Netherlands. And the whole new world opened for me then, and also new friends, also professional speakers. And that was the first time that I could also relate to some heroes and to people who've been for a professional speaker worldwide for 26 years, like Frederick Herron or James Taylor. And those people inspired me to go, to dig deeper. And that's actually a phrase from my keynote, to dig deeper and dive deeper in the market of professional speaking. Well, several people helped me, and I mean, some people really, I had one-on-ones with them for, what you can do better or different. And I think even if you on stage for 26 years, you always have to look for better ways, different ways, always have to find new angles to bring your story, because you can have a lot of experience in speaking, but that's also a trap. That's also that you think, okay, now I've been there, now I know it all. But the whole market is kind of changed. The whole digital market. I mean, when you now go to a conference, a real conference, let's say that will happen again, the big screens of TV screens in your bag, they are really powerful, and that's new. So you have to gain, and you have to let it work for you. And that's so it's not only people, it's also the technique that helps you to go further, and you have to be open-minded. The biggest impact, the biggest impact was, of course, missing the live performance. I mean, but that is, you don't even have to explain that if you've been on stage for 26 years, and that's your only job. I don't have a job. I'm not a consultant. I'm not a coach. That's what I do. I earn my money to give live performances. On the other hand, it's like you hear it a lot, that you sort of had a sort of mirror. Okay, what am I? What am I good at? What do I want to do? And it was also a big reset button. And so I'm actually always positive. And even now, 12 months in Corona, I'm still positive, and I'm full of ideas, and I have a lot of plans for the future. So you can say, oh, it's terrible and everything goes wrong. But sorry for that if you're not like that. But I really like to see the good thing in it, and try to do something that works for me. And I think that really happened. And especially my online studio, I really have fun in there. I mean, it's of course different. You close a speech, and instead of everybody applauds, it's like, yay! Well, thank you. Stop that. But now you have it online. But if you do it the right way, you really can have fun by having a speech online. Yes, I'm looking to a new world, I guess. And I'm not the only one. I mean, the good thing is the live performance will be back with all the vaccinations and the vaccination passport. There will be conferences again, of course. But the good thing is also that this whole online world, that this new world, I think it also stays. And so I think I've got now 2 different ways of working, making money. And I have some plans to go abroad. I have plans to buy a house in Portugal. And the good thing is, if I have a beautiful green screen studio over there and I've got fiberglass, I mean, I could be here now in the Netherlands, but I can also be in Portugal. So for me, that opens up a completely new world. Of course, I love to travel. I've been to Singapore, Delhi, Namibia, everywhere. But, you know, to also do a show online and you close off and 10 minutes later, you're sitting in the sun with a glass of Vino Verde. I mean, that's also a great lifestyle. So, you know, I think I will focus on being even more professional online. And of course, I will be back with a great new keynote for the next decade. Well, like I said, I mean, you always have to look for the opportunities. And online, the first couple of months, some speakers were really out there online, and I can think I'm one of them. But not everybody was ready for it. I had one or two professional speakers. They called me the Elon Musk of the webinars because I had beautiful online shows and nobody was waiting for it and nobody was even thinking about paying for it. And that was April, May last year. But now it's different because people know they have to embrace the online. And even sometimes you are tired of watching to the screen. I know that. But that's also when you have a convention and you have an 8-hour convention. Oh, again, you go to the big room. But if you see a beautiful show in the big room with entertainment, with beautiful lights, etc., bam, you are back. And that's the same you can do online. Of course, it is a screen. Of course, people sit at home. But if you make the difference with visuals, with sound, with questions, well, that's what I've learned, that everything you do in the online or in the real platform of convention, you can embrace that and try to do it in a different way online. So, well, like you said, if you have a speech, the tip that I would give you is stand up, like I do now, because that's when you normally on a stage, when you don't sit behind a desk, you know, you're not sitting on a chair. Because if you stand up, your whole body language is different, and you also feel different. So everything you say, you know, you say it in a different way than you sitting down. So that's actually my tip. And then the second tip is be creative. I mean, like this strange studio. I found out that I'm a pretty good quiz master, and you know, I can have two candidates live in the screens over there. They just push a button on the iPhone, they do this, and they are in my screen. And I've got the quiz mode is over here. I've got lots of different angles of cameras. So it's not that, oh, I'm online and I'm sitting behind the camera. No, it's like I wanted to be creative. And if you see what technically is possible, I mean, maybe you've seen it a little bit with my presentation right now, but the possibilities are endless. So be creative and look to your speech. Look, what do you want to say? What's the feeling you want to bring over? And try to find as much visuals and different angles to make that possible.